That was Jade got her 40th win Monday night on Elevation
Oh.
against Trisha Dora.
Are they counting that in the?
Yeah, it's they got
Okay,
it the 40
good.
and 0 graphic. No, it was for the
Okay.
it was the title shot.
So maybe at
It was maybe 3 minutes. Trisha Dora deserved more than that. I was a little irritated. I knew what they were doing. Like I don't have an issue with Jade. It's just they've never treated they could do so much more with Trisha Dora. If you
yeah,
watch the
she's
show, you
great.
know that we love Trisha Dora here. And she should
She's
be
really great.
she's great and she deserves more than that. And I knew what they were doing, but like they didn't promote, they barely promoted the match to begin with. Like I just happened to see the graphic earlier on Monday and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then, yeah, so she became 40, and then like nobody, like Twitter, AEW did tweet out the graphic that she's 40 and 0, but it was interesting. So Marina she's 41 and 0 now, wrestling Marina. And so that seemed kind of weird that they did that too. And I was like, why? Because I really thought they were just going to save Nyla and make Nyla be her 40th victory. But apparently, I guess she's going to be I don't know if they'll have her. Maybe they'll have her wrestle a few more times between now and Full Gear, and maybe Nyla's 45. I mean, she's only 4 wins away, and we're 2 weeks away, so maybe she'd have to wrestle like 4 times between now and then. So I'm not really sure why they did that. I was a little confused, especially because they didn't really. I mean, I think they did talk about it on Dynamite, but that she became like 40 is a big deal, and they just were like. And again, like I do watch Elevation, so I appreciate like being able to see that kind of stuff. But on the other hand, like with the way they're building her, it just seemed very weird that they did her 40th win on Elevation, and it was just yeah,
It's
it's
weird because now it's like, is she going to drop the title at Full Gear,
I
or are
don't
they going
think
to
so.
keep it on
No,
her
I think what my
until
guess is
winter is coming, so to get her to
I think
50?
she's keeping it on. She's keeping it until January 5th is 1 full year of her having the title. So I think it's going
Okay,
to be in
I
January.
see what you. Okay,
So I think
so
they're going to make her go, but I think they're going to build to. I can't tell. That's the one thing I can't tell if they're going to, because there are some weeks where she's just on TV talking and just being Jade. So I can't tell if they're going to drag out getting to 50, like if her 1 year will be also her 50th win, like if they'll drag out the 50 and the 1 year together, or if they're going to go ahead and get her to 50 wins and maybe she gets to like 60. Like I can't really I think regardless, I think she gets to the 1 year mark on January the 5th, and
okay.
Dynamite is January the 4th. So I guess that Rampage, like she'll surpass her year, and then maybe on Rampage she, I don't know if they'll have her lose that
Or
quickly. I
they'll
just think
like fudge it a little because it's wrestling and say it's a
well, they
year.
have been really good about not doing the Goldberg record with her, like
Yeah,
Nyla
yeah.
did. Nyla had a sign on Dark, and or I think it was Dark or Elevation, where she came, she came out in a long blonde wig, and then she did Jade's pose, and like before she came to the ring, and then they held up a sign when I can't remember now off the top of my head who she wrestled, but they had a sign and it said like 57 and 0. So they were clearly poking fun at the Goldberg stuff, which I thought was really funny, especially because people have obviously made the comparison with Jade. The thing about Jade is she's legitimately 41 and 0. Like she didn't have made up matches in between.
Yeah,
So like I think
right.
they'll keep that, but so maybe she holds it till Battle of the Belt. If they do a Battle of the Belts in
Oh
January,
yeah,
like they
I
did this
guess.
year, maybe she drops it then. I think regardless, they get her to the 1 year mark. I don't know if it's 50 wins or if they'll go ahead and do like maybe 60 or 55 or something like that. Like I think she will. So at this point, I mean, she's now what 9 wins away from 50. So that seems like they're going to get her to 50. And so it's depending on when they get to the 50. Is the 50 going to come by January the 5th, or is it going to come like is she going to hit her 1 year mark and then January, like maybe they have a wrestle on Dynamite and maybe she gets her 50th win on Dynamite, and then the next day she is when she gets her 1 year as champion, and then we start seeing maybe she is going to drop the belt at some point after that. So it seems like unless they're just going to make her Roman Reigns and she holds it for 2 years, I don't know. She's running out of the only thing with that is she's running out of people to wrestle if they do that. So it's I think the 1 year mark seems like that's kind of where they're going with her.
Well, that's 9 weeks. Like the first week of January is 9 weeks away.
Okay.
So
So yeah,
I popped my little calendar up here
there you
now
go.
while you were saying that, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure if I counted those weeks right, and that is actually kind of I guess I mean, in the end, that's actually pretty good because that like really makes the belt important because the first person to ever held it for a
Right.
year.
And that's what I was thinking too. And so
And that's
whoever
actually kind of cool. And with her saying what, like, I mean, part of the reason we're bringing this up is because she tweeted out about, you know, she felt like the women could get more better matches if they got more time.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
she did. Yeah, she did an interview with I think it was Steve Fall from NBC, and she said that she thinks that women in AEW could be having 5-star matches if they were if they were given the time.
So I
And so
mean, like
she
a
also
9-week build to her having a title for a year, that gives them something to like. That's a backbone for some storytelling.
yeah, absolutely. And then you have to, because whoever is the one to hand her first defeat
Yeah,
and take the title like that. So whoever is secondary, whoever's going to be the second champion, has to be somebody that they think is, because I don't think that they will have the next person have a year-long run either. Like I think they'll
mm-mm.
give them a strong, that they've got to do like a strong at least 6-month run with them. Like I think is what they
Yeah,
should
they'll
do.
need to get a good push so that it
But
doesn't
they've
like.
got to, it's got to be on somebody, like it's got to be on somebody like an Athena or a Willow, or or somebody who is going to
Yeah,
be the next cornerstone, which again the rumor was supposedly that Chris Statlander was supposed to have taken the title from her at Grand Slam.
but she
Then
got hurt.
obviously then she got injured, and she's going to be out for a while. So I still don't think, obviously it's not going to be her, but they clearly have an idea that somebody, that whoever is going to be the person who takes it off her, who's going to carry the torch after her, has got to be somebody that they're willing to get behind. And that's because that's a big deal. Because then that was like, I wrote an article, I don't think it's out yet, but it's about like why, about the Nyla feud. And I was like, I don't think Nyla wins at Full Gear, but if Nyla were to be the one who dethrones Jade, Nyla would be the first the first champion to hold, first woman to hold both belts, because she was the AEW Women's Champion. And so if she were to get the TNT title, then she would be the first woman in AEW to hold both titles, which I think is a really interesting story. I don't know if that's what they'll do. Or maybe they have Jade beat Nyla here at Full Gear, and then Nyla's like, and then she wants the title for, like, she wants to do it for real, and so maybe they use those 9 weeks, and maybe she gets her rematch at Battle of the Belts and she wins it. I mean, that's a story that they could tell if they wanted to. But I think that they, like you said, 9 weeks should be enough time for them to tell a story if they're going to have her drop it that soon. Like as soon as she hits the 1-year mark.
Yeah.
But then again, Revolution's in February, so maybe they have her drop, so they may not have her drop it. But I mean, there's Battle of the Belts, so there's that. Then they usually do like a whole bunch of themed shows in January too. So
and there's Winter is Coming too.
There's Winter is Coming, which I don't think it's then,
there.
because that'll be before the 1-year period. So I don't see it being Winter is Coming. But Battle of the Belts is in January, so I could definitely see that could potentially, if they don't want to wait till Revolution or have the new champion defend their title at Revolution, then Battle of the Belts is probably an ideal place for Jade to drop the title if they're going to have her drop it that soon after getting the 1-year mark. It's kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, so it's really interesting that Jade made that comment, and I'm glad that she also recognizes that the women aren't getting enough time.